Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Quranic Connection TV. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about low self-esteem and building confidence. The two are interrelated. Now, one of the problems that so many of us face in today's times is this issue of low self-esteem, and it affects us in all areas of our lives. Like when opportunities come to you, you feel as though it's not for you, you're not worthy of it, or someone else is better at doing this than you. And so we pass by on these opportunities. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us a very easy way to build up and create that self-esteem, that self-belief, and ultimately to create a level of confidence where you can do anything that you want to do. And look, let's be honest. It doesn't matter how confident you are in one area of your life. Sometimes we are confident in one area and we have a really low confidence in another area of our lives. And this affects the way that we interact with people. This affects the way, our relationships are formed. This affects us as individuals, and we begin to have a lot of self-doubt. So many people have this problem, including myself. Like one of the areas that I suffered from was the area of public speaking. Like I hated to be in front of the public, to be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and I felt as though someone else could do it better than I could. But the reasons why people have this problem, and why I had the same problem, was that we often believe that, we're not perfect, or we're trying to be perfect. And in trying to be perfect, or trying to get it right from the set-go, like we fear failure, or we fear, making mistakes, or we fear making the wrong decisions. And we fear, and we fear, and we fear. And that fear, it causes us to have a negative self-image, a negative idea, or a way that we look at ourselves. And we begin to see ourselves as not being good enough. And not being good enough is exacerbated, is made worse when you compare yourself to your peers or other people that you look up to. And that really puts a lid on your potential, because when you have a low self-esteem or low confidence, like any good opportunity that comes up in your life, you'll be willing to let it go by. And so in Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the verse, or tells us about the believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about them that these people, Allah says about them, He says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, those who believe and they take action, they do the righteous deeds. Allah says about them that chambers of paradise has been reserved for them. Chambers of paradise have been reserved for them. And then in the following verse, Allah goes on to describe them. And Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And this is where the lesson is. This is how we learn how to build that confidence. Allah says, they are who? They are those people who are patient, and they put their reliance in Allah. Now, there are two lessons to be taken from this verse. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as an Arabic teacher, I look at this verse and I'm excited by the nuance that you find. Allah uses a verb and not a noun. What's the difference? A noun is something static. It has a very black and white meaning, right? It's a name of a place or a thing. It's something static. But Allah doesn't use a noun. Allah doesn't say the word patience. Instead, Allah says those who exercise patience, those who do patience. Like this word, sabaru, it is a doing word. It's a verb, it's an action word. And when Allah uses that, then Allah is saying, in describing these people, the successful believers, Allah describes them and says that they are people who exercise patience. Now, what does that mean? Like, there's different types of patience. And in this context, the context of building confidence and building self-image and having a good view of yourself so that you can become the best that you can in this world, like have indestructible self-confidence. In this context, the word sabaru is more befitting to translate it as someone who exercises persistence in doing something. They're patiently persistent. They're patiently continuously. Because look, in the previous verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described these people and says, Alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat, and they do the righteous deeds. They take action. And then in the following verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they're patient. Because look, when you take the right steps, you need to be persistent, you need to be patient, you need to be continuous in doing it. If you do it once or twice, is that going to build confidence? It's not likely to build confidence for you, right? If you do it more than like thrice and you keep going and you keep going and you do it over and over and over again, like that is persistence, that is patience. And that requires patience so that you can continue to do it. And if you continue to do something, what happens? You become more competent in doing that thing. And the more competent you become, the stronger that skill becomes, then what happens? You become more and more confident. And that's how we build confidence. Like if you want to build confidence, in a nutshell, like take consistent action. Confidence does not come before taking action. You can't wait for confidence to come to you and decide, okay, like I'm confident now, I will do it. No, confidence and motivation, even if you like, it comes after taking action. The more action you take, the more confident you will become. The more practice you put in, the more confident you become. But the second part of this verse, which is absolutely essential, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَعَلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ, and they put their reliance in Allah. They put their reliance in Allah. For what? For the results. You see, you take the steps that you need to do, like to achieve whatever you want to achieve, any area of your life, and then take the necessary action. That's what is up to you. That's your part of the bargain. As long as you do that, then put your reliance in Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the results that you're looking for. Allah is the one that produces the results. Allah is the one that gives us everything that we want. Like, as long as you do that, you will get everything that you want and you cannot fail. Like, you want to build indestructible confidence. Like, connect yourself to the creator of the heavens and the earth. Like, put your reliance in Allah. Put the results in Allah's hands. Like, results don't come from you and I. Results come from Allah. But what you and I do is that we take the necessary steps, the necessary action, and we do it patiently, persistently, over and over again. And if you do that, then inshallah ta'ala, you will, without any shadow of doubt, you will produce, you will grow your self-worth, and you will become the person that you can be. And inshallah ta'ala, like, my message to you is that you can be confident. You can become the most confident that you want. And if you want a much more detailed understanding of this, go check out the Quranic Journey program. Like, there is an hour-long session on this. Like, we go into it, we talk about the details of it, the psychology behind it, the science behind it, and the various ayat of the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us exactly how to do it. So Jazakumullah khair. I hope this is useful. Like, take the necessary steps, simplify it, don't make it more complicated than it has to be, and inshallah you will get there without any shadow of doubt. Assalamu alaikum.